You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. So, if your plants don't look as rich and thick and full and colorful as you want, or they're not as fragrant, that's going to, I'd mentioned at the top of the hour, fertilizing. You'll need to take care of your plants more than other parts of the country because our soil is so bad. And it really comes down to our water. The water is so bad, it affects your plants. And so we have extremely alkaline water. And then that mineral, that white buildup, that ring that builds up in the toilet and the bathroom and the sinks and stuff, that also builds up in the soil and it clogs up the soil. And so what do you do to prevent that? So if left unchecked, or you never do anything, you just plant your yard, you built your house, plant your yard, the plants will look good for maybe a couple of years. And then all of a sudden it turns and they start fading. You go, wow, my lilacs, it just didn't bloom. What is going on? They were so beautiful last year. What happened this year? That's the whole reason that happened was nutrients. It didn't have enough food to really keep it looking good. Your pine trees were growing so fast and full. Now they're wispy and thin and they're being attacked by bugs. That's a food thing and a pH thing. So a lot of plants like a more acidic type of soil. Most of your evergreens are going to like acidic soil. Anything that blooms is going to prefer acidic soil. It brings out the flavor and the colors. That's what makes the chemistry in the soil. You got to play with some of that more than other parts of the country. Other places, their soil is so acidic, they're trying to make it more alkaline. So they're just trying the opposite. And so here, though, back there, let's say the Midwest, Michigan, they're always saying put lime on the soil. You need to sweeten the soil. Never do that here, or you'll just kill the soil. You take high pH soil and you just raise it up so high, it'll basically nothing will grow. So here we always do the opposite. We're making things more acidic. So when you hear the national garden gurus tell you put lime in the soil, don't listen, turn off, tune into here. We'll tell you what's right. Here we're putting soil sulfur. Sulfur is the opposite of lime. So you sulfur lime. Lime makes the pH go up off the charts. Sulfur makes it more acidic. What that does, it lowers the pH, so it frees up all the nutrients and minerals in the soil so the plants can take it all in and really be robust. They really like that. And then as you start to water, it starts to raise your soil will naturally take on the pH of whatever your water is. And I guarantee you your water is high pH. And so the fertilizer we make. So my name's Ken. We're just neighbors. We're just friends talking over the fence. And I made my own fertilizer. And that's why. Because all the national brand fertilizers have lime. They're putting lime in the fertilizer because they're not selling to us. They're selling to, they call it the Great Garden Arc, from Washington, D.C. up to Boston to Chicago and all the way over to D.C., all the way over to Washington and Portland. That's the Great Garden Arc. That's where most of the gardening products are made for. Us here, we're not a big enough market. They just go, we don't care about them. They'll have to use what we make already or go without. So we make our own. It's all natural. We purposely put soil sulfur in that 744 all-purpose plant food mix. It just activates the food. It's all natural. It's not going to vaporize your worms and all the good stuff that's in there. It's not a chemical. It's actually an organic. It's got lots of meals like cottonseed meal and bird guano and stuff. But we put sulfur in there too because we know your water is going to bother you. And so it's going to activate that fertilizer better. So I went far deeper than I wanted to go into that, but we're deep into the science of gardening and why the soils are reacting the way they are. You'll find you have to do that a little more than you do where you've got, Wisconsin, 8 foot of topsoil. I mean, we don't even comprehend 8 centimeters, much less feet here in the mountains of Arizona. All of our topsoil gets picked up and washed down the streams, and it goes down into the deserts every monsoon season. And so it's just, you'll need to do that. If you just just a little bit of care, a little bit more gardening with that fertilizer. You need to get that right. If you do, it's like magic. Your plants will just go. Your neighbors will be going, whoa, how'd you do that? Well, I listened to this guy. He's on the radio. I tuned into his podcast. You can have it. Here, I'll give you the link. It just has it makes a difference. That fertilizer is a game changer, especially for the bigger plants, because a bigger plant needs more food. And so you need to be more regularly with those blooming trees, your fruit trees, the bigger blocking plants like Arizona cypress, your big red tip photinias, cotoneasters, these great big plants that you're trying to hide your neighbors. They're big new Class A RV they've got across the lot. You don't want to see that. You just fertilize and it will make those plants just ignite with new growth and make them thicker, fuller, greener, more fragrant, bigger flowers, more foliage. This really is a game changer. All right, so that's it for this segment, how to get the most out of your plants. Waters and companion plants for April are purple twist plums, perfume lilacs, columbine, and Arizona gaillardia.
Gaillardia is the perfect mountain perennial with huge fiery flowers on a compact plant.
She loves the heat and super drought hardy.
You can count on this bloomer to show off all summer long in raised beds, containers, or in the garden.
Javelina and rabbit proof. This bloomer is a must-have Arizona plant.
Arizona gaillardia, found at Waters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
For a more fruitful garden, increased success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit watersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Waters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.